Welcome back, everyone. Now, moving to the most hard, in my opinion, topic in accounting for beginners, which is inventory, because there's tons of information to go through. You need to write it down, you need to rewatch the videos to understand it more. And as you will see when we move forward, there is a huge information in this topic. So let's jump and start right away. So, what's the inventory? Inventory is a good a business owns and hold for a sale in the normal course of business. The cost of good purchase is not only the cost we pay to buy the goods. It includes amount we pay for transit, amount we pay for insurance, any amount we pay until that goods reach our warehouse. It's all go in the price of the goods we purchase. For the cost of goods sold, there is two systems and three cost flow assumptions to determine it. The first one in the system is the periodic inventory system. In this system, the quantity of inventory is determined only by physical count, usually at the end of the year. And the formula for calculate the cost of goods sold is beginning inventory plus what we purchase in this year, and in this we do the journal entry from purchase to cash, bank, account receivable, depend on the way we pay. That leads us to the cost of goods available for sale. We subtract the ending inventory, we count it physically, and then we reach the cost of goods sold. In the periodic inventory, when we sell, we write down debit, cash, bank, account receivable, and credit sale. And at the end of the year, when we do the count and we know the cost of goods we sell, we write down the journal entry cost of goods sold to inventory to reduce inventory in balance sheet and increase cost of goods sold in the income statements. In the perpetual inventory systems, record is updated for each item of inventory and each sale as they occur. Therefore, the perpetual inventory system keeps a running total of inventory balance. So, when we buy, we debit inventory and we credit cash. You have to notice something important. If we go to periodic, when we buy, we record purchase and in debit, but in perpetual inventory, we record inventory in a debit, not purchase. And then when we sell, we debit cash, bank, account receivable, credit sale, and debit cost of goods sold and inventory at the same time. If we go back to periodic, you're gonna see that at the end of the year we do this journal entry cost of goods sold to inventory, but in perpetual it's go every time. With every sale it's updated, so it's a running inventory for each sale. The cost flow assumptions is FIFO, LIFO, and weighted average. In FIFO, which means first in, first out, first cost inventoried are the first cost transferred to the cost of goods sold. LIFO means last in, first out, the last cost inventoried are the first costs transferred to the cost of goods sold. And the weighted average, at the end of the period, the average cost of each item in inventory would be the weighted average of the cost of all items in inventory. So, we say we buy 3 times. We add the price of the 3 times, or the quantity, sorry, and we divide it by 3 to reach the weighted average. Now moving to Excel to do an example for FIFO, periodic and perpetual, LIFO, and weighted average. As you can see, our concern is the amounts, not the quantities, because we are talking about the cost of goods sold and the ending inventory to transfer to the inventory account and the current assets and the balance sheet. But to calculate it, we need the units quantity and the cost of each quantity in our example. First one, first in, first out. In the periodic, we only do the purchase, we know at the end the balance for purchase is $300,000. Then at the end of the year, when we count, we see that we sell 47,000 units. And this, we go first in, first out, 47. We take 25,000 from the $5, 15,000 from $5.2, and the rest 7,000 from $4.9. And this, we reach the cost of goods sold. And when we subtract the cost available for sale, we know the ending inventory. It's straightforward, no issue with that. Moving now to Excel and do example. It's gonna be the same example for FIFO, both system, LIFO, and weighted average. For FIFO periodic inventory system, we bought 60,000. At the end of the year, we count what we still have in inventory, and we found out that there is only 13,000. From that, we know that we sell 47,000. To know the cost of goods sold, we took the first 25 because it's first in, first out. We take the second one, now we have 40,000, and we take 7,000 from the 13,000 on its cost, and that's why we're gonna reach the cost of goods sold 237,300. We subtract from the cost available for sale, and we get the ending inventory 62,700. In FIFO perpetual inventory system, it's running and updating after each transaction, either we buy or we sell. So we start with 25,000, we buy 15,000, now we have 40,000. When we sell this 20,000, we take it from here, we still have now 20,000, and we continue to the next time. We buy 13,000, we sell 5,000, also gonna take it from the first one until the one at the top, and we go down to the next units we bought, and we take the amount from it and the cost to reach the cost of goods sold. And in FIFO periodic and perpetual, we're gonna reach the same ending result for the cost of goods sold and ending balance, because it's the same. We start from here and we go down in both way, even we count it and see, or we update it after each transaction. In LIFO and both system, you're gonna see difference in the ending balance and the cost of goods sold. As we say in FIFO, it's the same in both way, but in LIFO you're gonna see a slight difference. And the reason why, because the calculation of the LIFO will be different from the FIFO in calculation. Now, last in, first out. As the same example we do in FIFO, 60,000, we count, we have 13,000 left, so we know we are selling 47,000. We took it from the down and then we go up. So we took 1,000, 6,000, 13,000. Now we have a 20. We took the 15. Now we have 35,000. What's left? 12,000. We took it from the first one to reach the ending inventory and cost of goods sold. Now for the trick part in LIFO perpetual inventory system. In FIFO, we start from beginning, go down in both way. So we start from the same point and end at the same point. In LIFO, we start from here and we go up in the periodic system. But in a perpetual system, we don't start from here. We start from the ending after each transaction. So we buy 25,000, we buy 15,000, we sell 15. This 15 we will take it from here, not from down. After each transaction, it will be updated. Now we sell 5,000, we take it from 25,000. We buy 13, we sell 13. This 13,000, we are not going to take it back from here. We will take it from here. So as you see, after each update, we have ending. The ending, we take it from it because it's the last goods to enter the warehouse. We sell 4,000. Now we're gonna go back to what left here. We buy 6, we sell 6, we take the 6 from here. We sell 4, this is done, this is done, this is done, we take from here. And then at the end, we buy 1,000. As you see, the ending balance and the cost of goods sold slightly different here in LIFO because we start from here, but in perpetual we start after each transaction updated. In the weighted average, the periodic inventory system, we have 60,000, we count out the end, we have 13,000 left, so we know we sell 47,000. How to know the cost of unit we sell? So whatever we have total amounts, we calculate it together, add it, and we divide it by the quantity we have, which is 16,000. Then we reach the cost of goods sold, $5. We sell 47,000, so 47,000 multiplied by 5 reach 235,000, which is the cost of goods sold. In the perpetual system, we updated after each transactions. So here, units times cost, unit times cost, we add them together, we divide this amount by 40,000, which is the quantity we have in hand, so we reach $5.07.5 for each unit. We sell 20,000, so 20,000 times the cost, and we get 101,500 the cost we sell it. Now when we come to this 13,000 we bought it, we sell 17,000, we will take 4,000 from $5.07.5, and we add it to this. We do the same calculation and we go down. Also, as you can see, the ending inventory and the cost of goods sold is slightly different. As we work example in Excel and know in both systems and the three assumptions how we calculate the cost of goods sold and the ending balance of inventory. The cost of goods sold will go in the income statement and show here, and we subtract it from the revenue. We calculate in Excel using the two systems and three assumptions the cost of goods sold and the ending inventory balance. The cost of goods sold would go to income statement and show here, and we subtract it from revenue. For the ending balance, we have it. Also, we calculate it in our example. It will show in current assets as inventory shows. Well, maybe. Think of it. What if the market selling price is lower than our ending inventory? In this case, we can't sell. Assuming, for example, we have a cost of a product $10, but it's selling in the market for $9. In this case, we will not be able to sell our product because customers can find it in lower price in another place. Here we're gonna use the lower of cost or market. Inventory must be reported at the lower of cost, what you paid to buy or make the inventory, and the market its current replacement value. Notice when the market price is higher, we don't increase our prices. Our concern what's gonna happen if the market price go down. Inventory to be reported at the lower of historical cost and current market value, not the higher. So When we reduce the cost of our inventory, we debit loss on inventory write down and credit inventory. Inventory will be less in the balance sheet, and loss of inventory write down will go to the income statement because it's expenses. There is not just lower of cost or market to calculate the ending balance, there is also the lower of cost of or net realizable value. This is advanced topic, not for now. As we said, inventory, we have a lot of information. Go review it, read it more than one, and we've in the future we're gonna do another example so you can understand it more. So I'll see you in the next lesson, and it will be about property, planet, and equipment. So see you there.